All right, let's dive into something really cool today. Embarking on a quest to build your very own dataset, completely from scratch. You know that feeling, right? You get this amazing idea for a project, maybe some new AI application, and then, bam, you hit a brick wall. You search everywhere, but the dataset you need to make it happen, it just doesn't exist. It's a classic problem, and it's super frustrating. So what do? Well, you don't give up. In this explainer, we're going to show you how to become the builder. We're going to take raw, messy information and forge it into something structured and valuable. In other words, let's just build our own. Okay, but hold on. Before we start grabbing data, let's talk about the why. What's the point? What kind of cool stuff can you actually do with a custom data set, especially one made from something like GitHub issues? While the applications are actually pretty powerful, with a dataset of GitHub issues, you could do some serious analysis, like figuring out how long it takes your team to squash bugs, or you could train a model to automatically tag new issues as a bug or a feature request. You could even build a really smart search engine to help people find solutions faster. The possibilities are huge. All right, quest accepted. Time to start gathering our raw materials. And our treasure trove for this adventure is one of the biggest hubs of developer activity on the planet, GitHub. The main tool for our mission is the GitHub REST API. You can think of it like a master key that lets us programmatically unlock a repository and pull out all the public data inside. We can use it to grab every single issue, the title, the description, all the metadata, and it hands it to us in nicely organized JSON objects. Of course, no good quest is without its obstacles. And the first monster guarding this treasure is a very common one when you're working with APIs, the dreaded rate limit. And this is a huge bottleneck. If you're not logged in, GitHub basically tells you to slow down, capping you at just 60 requests an hour. If you're trying to download thousands of issues from a big project, that's just not going to cut it. You'd be sitting there for days. So how do we get past this gatekeeper? The solution. Our key to the treasure room is a personal access token. It's a simple little token you generate in your GitHub settings that just proves to the API who you are. And the difference this token makes is just night and day. You go from a slow crawl of 60 requests per hour to a full-on sprint at 5,000. This is the moment we unlock the API's full potential and can finally download everything we need. This gives us a really simple and effective recipe for grabbing all the data. It's just a loop, right? We ask the API for one page of issues, we save them to our dataset, we check if the API is telling us there's a next page, and we just repeat until we've got them all. Okay, so we've collected our raw materials, but that's just the first step. To make our dataset truly powerful, we need to enrich it. It's time to add more context, more detail. Right now, our dataset has the essentials. We've got the title and the main body text for each issue, its unique number, and a little flag telling us if it's an issue or a pull request. This is a great starting point. But think about it. So much of the valuable information isn't in that original post. It's in the conversation that happens after. The real magic, the rich context, the solutions. That stuff is almost always buried deep in the comments. So we go back to the API. For every single issue, we then pull down its entire discussion thread. By adding this as a new comments field, we're doing more than just adding data. We're injecting a whole new layer of rich human conversation into our dataset. It's a total game changer. We've built it. We've enriched it. So, now what? The final act of our quest is maybe the most important part, sharing what we've made with the entire community so that other people can build on our work. And a perfect place to do that is the Hugging Face Hub. It's basically the central town square for the machine learning community, designed specifically for sharing models, demos, and datasets. This is our personal project becomes a public resource. Now, you might be thinking this part sounds complicated, Git commands, server stuff, but it's actually the easiest part of the entire process, seriously. It all comes down to this one single beautiful function call, push to hub.push. You run that, and the library handles everything else. It uploads your dataset and makes it available to thousands of other developers. It's that simple. It's kind of magic. Our dataset is now public, but our quest isn't quite over. there's one final, absolutely crucial step. We need to leave a map for the future adventurers who find our treasure so they can understand it and trust it. And that map is the dataset card. The dataset card is basically the README file for your data. It's your chance to provide all the context. You explain how the data was made, what the different fields mean, maybe suggest some cool ways to use it, and, this is really important, you talk about any limitations or potential biases in the data. At the end of the day, this documentation is what makes your data set actually useful to other people. A good card makes your data discoverable so people can find it, it makes it understandable so they use it correctly, and most importantly, it builds trust through transparency. And there you have it. That's the whole arc of the journey. We went from just having an idea with no data to gathering it, enriching it, and finally sharing it with the world as a well-documented, valuable resource that anyone can use. We've shown you the path from being a data consumer to a data creator. So the only question left is, now that you know how it's done, what data set will you build next?